Welcome to video number 4, the last and final video of the Griddle series videos that I'm doing. I hope you guys have enjoyed or got some useful information out of the 3 other videos that I've posted. I try to be as thorough as possible. I'm actually that way with essentially every item that I purchase, and it drives my wife nuts. But if I'm going to purchase something, I want to make sure I get something of quality. It doesn't necessarily have to be the most expensive, but something that I believe is justified for the price. But if you're not ready to jump into any of these griddles here, I would highly recommend the Royal Gourmet. This griddle I actually use the most. It's a 3-burner ceramic coated griddle, and the reason I use this the most is because it's the most portable and it's the one that takes the least amount of propane for my family. I'm a family of 2, but this can easily support a family of 4, maybe 5, and it does have some issues. It's not perfect by any means, but for the price, you're not going to get a better griddle. They range anywhere from about $100 to $125. You'll read a lot of mixed reviews on there, and take the reviews with a grain of salt, guys. A lot of people like to complain, and one major complaint that is justified is the hose. This is the original hose that comes with it. It's way too short to use it to be usable, so I went ahead and just purchased an extension, and that wasn't too expensive, which solves that issue. But the point of this video we're going to be talking about is some issues, I guess, not necessarily issues, some reviews I came across that were complaining. One big complaint that I see over and over is they're complaining that these griddles, or this particular one, all griddles, they rust. Well, they're gonna rust if you keep the cover the way it is. Like, people are complaining that this cover is causing it to rust or whatever. Well, that is true. It's a flat piece of metal and it's a cover. You put weight on it, and what's going to happen? Water's going to sit there and accumulate. Well, what do you think is going to eventually happen? It's going to get wet. If it rusts, it's not the end of the world. You can recover. I mean, there's videos out there showing these, I mean, in horrible condition, but it's easily fixable, guys. It's not a big issue. In order to avoid getting water pooling up in this area, is you want to create some sort of teepee effect, where you put some cups or something so the water can run off as well. You're still going to get condensation under here if it's humid or it's real hot or whatever. So just be aware, if it rusts, it's not the end of the world. There's an easy solution to that. Another issue that some reviewers have said is it's top heavy. Well, come on, guys, let's use some common sense here. I'm not trying to put anybody on blast by any means, but of course it's going to be top heavy. All of these, I guess you would consider top heavy, besides the 90 here, because it's overbuilt. All the weight is in the griddle tops. It's a big hunk of metal. Like, what did you expect? It's not a bad thing that it's top heavy. If it was top heavy and then it wobbled and tipped, I would understand that'd be a justified reason to complain. But for you to say that all the weight's in the griddle top, well, you're correct, but that isn't a negative. So that's I wouldn't worry too much about that, guys. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna talk about some more issues with this blue Rhino that if they're watching, I hope they address my concerns. I think this one here is pretty minor. These are just like little it's hard to see, just little like rubber bumpers here to help absorb the shelf when you got weight on them. Well, the problem with this is all there is a little screw, and you got like a silicone rubber here. These tend to always pop off. I've been thankful that I've been able to find them. If you lose one, you're going to have to take both of them off, and then when you lose them, your shelf's going to kind of slant a little bit. So just be careful with those rubber stops. You can find another way to secure them. That's probably what I'm going to do. It's not necessarily a deal breaker for me, but I would have liked to seen some sort of reinforcement here. This metal here is thin. If you bend any of these corners, you're gonna have to bend them back, because the legs, they fold out and they sit in here. I would like to have seen a thicker piece of metal, some reinforcement or something of that nature to protect this, because when you're transporting it, all the weight's sitting on these. Well, if something slams into it like most vehicles do, things slide around and you smash it, well, you're going to have a bad day and you're going to be pretty upset, and it's going to take you time to fold it out. I don't think it's going to crack right away, but it's just going to be a little deformed, and with those individuals that like to have something pristine, that might be quite upsetting for them. So, but other than that, I want to show you why I do like these griddles here is the way they store. You can see how I store this one. I actually store them upright like this. I wouldn't recommend doing it because this might be a weak point eventually, because all your weight is on this handle. If you're going to store it for long terms and you want to do this, you would probably consider just taking these screws out. But I do it. I haven't had any issues yet, but if you do, don't say I didn't warn you. I think that pretty much covers everything in this video, guys. Let's see, let me look over my notes. Yeah, that covers everything in this series. So if before you guys ask questions, if you could please watch the entire series, because more than likely I've answered those questions. I answer every comment that I receive, good or bad. And I make it a point to, because a lot of people have concerns or issues or something I didn't cover and want me to explain. And if I can help somebody make a purchase decision, I'm not going to tell you which one to purchase. I'm just going to give you my opinion on which direction you should head, and that's your choice if you want to go that way or not. But if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, put them down below and I'll get to them. If I answered it before, I'm just going to direct you to that question. I'm completely bombarded with messages and comments and emails that it gets kind of overwhelming replying to every one of them, because it takes a lot of time to do it. So, but I do get to it eventually, so just be patient with me, guys. All right, well, you guys have a good day.